This is it. Welcome y'all to episode 1 of the Crystal Lens Experience. My name is Crystal, aka the Crystal Lens. My pronouns are she and they. And guess what? I'm here to bring a dose of positivity to your day. So whether the sun is rising where you are, maybe it's setting or somewhere in between, I hope you receive this with peace, love, and gratitude. All right. So this podcast, what on earth are we doing? So this podcast is a love letter to myself, and it's a love letter to each and every one of you who look like me, talk like me, walk like me, and move like me, right? It's a promise to unapologetically tell my story and the stories of those who have felt othered, out of place, and marginalized in a world that often aims to keep us small and boxed in, right? This is an oath to my truth, and it's an oath to your truth. It's a promise to love on myself so I can pass that love on to all of you. This is the Crystal Lens Experience. All right, so this is our inaugural episode. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I thought I'd bring on 2 people who have been part of the Crystal Lens since day 1, literally like my ride or dies, my home skillet biscuits, like all of the above. And honestly, I can't tell this story without them. So welcome, Shav Bre. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming. Like, I'm really excited. So can we just start with like who are y'all? You know what I mean? Like, let's start with saying, let me also say this. Shav and Bre were my first 2 production assistants, like literally left and right hand, like that is them. But who are y'all? Like, do you want to tell the people who you are? What are you up to? I know you guys are artists, you're working, all that good stuff, but you know, Shav, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. My name is Shav Bre. I am, like literally Crystal's left or right hand, whichever one she wants to put me in. We've known each other for so long that it's like the 3 of us are three peas in a pod. But I also graduated from Suffolk University with Crystal. And we're all cancers, if anyone did not know that.
Yes.
So, but I am a producer, director, editor, artist, you name it, I'm that girl. So I work as a TV producer and director of operations for a small public access TV station on Martha's Vineyard. Currently just being a techie at the moment, which is pretty fun and new to me, even though I'm more of a videographer. And I just working on a lot of art. So yeah, that's me.
Yay, awesome. And Bre, who are you, boo?
My name is Brianna Vass. I also graduated from Suffolk University. We're in order of Crystal, me, and Shav. I have a media studies degree, but I work in analytics for an advertising company. I do tech stuff, so I can do websites and stuff like that, and the graphics for that. I know some editing, but most of the time I'm doing tech stuff. Anything that requires your like logical brain, that's where I'm at. And that's what I help Crystal with, and so I help a bunch of people with. So that's where I lie. Still creative, still trying to do art, still doing photography on the side with my brother and stuff like that. But, you know, still trucking along, trying to figure things out.
Nice. I love it. I love it. Literally my left and my right hand. Like, I'm really excited for y'all to be here for real. Like, I think for the longest time I was trying to figure out like, who should I bring on? Like, it's like, do I bring my dad? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like one half of me. Like, he knows me since 93. Like, but I feel like, you know, y'all 2 are like the best 2 to bring on to start. So let's slide right on into our gratitude segment. So this is a segment where we just take a moment to show gratitude. So the question is, what are you grateful for today, this week, this month? What are you grateful for? And we'll go Bre at the top of my screen. So Bre.
I know it's cliche. My mom, especially during like the transition in between finding employment and switching careers, she was always there like with like a handful of like suggestions and even more suggestions since getting my job. My mom my dad too, but like my mom, like definitely. And then you guys, because I would be so like with you and my other friends, like so bored on a regular basis. Like hearing from you guys every once in a while, because that's just what I need to like get out of my head. But you guys and my mom, definitely. My cancers.
Yay.
I guess I'm next.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, given that it's Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day. I am very grateful for my mother as well. She has put up with me, Lord Jesus. I grew up without my mom being by my side because she lives in a whole different country, but she's been there every step of the way, whether I'm having a mental breakdown, whether I'm just kind of like, I don't know what these people want from me, how do I solve it type of thing. And she's there during my fangirl moments, because I recently found that I'm a BTS fan. So she's like, Mom,
Wait, what's
I want to
BTS?
spend $65 on an album. Should I buy it? And she's like, girl, just do it. I bought how much, whatever albums when Celine Dion sang in Spanish. And I was like, okay, cool. Thank you so much.
I'm here for it. Wait, what's BTS, Shav? I don't know what that is.
Girl, what? The Korean pop band?
Who?
The Korean pop band?
Girl. Well, I don't feel bad because I knew their songs back in end of last year, but didn't know who they were. So I just knew the song over the radio. And then this year I got into them. But that's beside the point. But I'm really grateful for my mommy. Bless her heart. She's wonderful and she's always my biggest supporter. So I'm very happy for that. And my sister. So
Yeah, shout out to a woman. I love her. I see her out there doing her thing, just being fabulous.
Traveling and being fabulous. Exactly.
Okay, as she should be, like on brand. I'll say I'm grateful today for, I would say my auntie Tracy, and I say that because she's been like a mom to me since like day one. She's been like the first person who like advocated for me, like when others did me wrong. And like, I mean, y'all know like the relationship with my mom like isn't, the sweetest. It's not, sugar and sunshine. But my auntie Tracy definitely was like the one who always kept me going. Like she always would give me like good advice. And, she was always telling me like, live your life, live your life, live your life. You can't live it for nobody else, but live your life. So I'm super grateful for her today. And of course, always my left and my right hand right there. I'm grateful for y'all as always. I think you said it the best, Bre, too. Like we don't necessarily talk every day, but when we do, it's like, whew, that's a little breath of fresh air that I needed. Awesome. So each episode, I want to take a moment to either start our discussion with either an affirmation, a question or a quote. So this week's quote is actually from Miss Stacey Abrams. And actually it's a two-part quote. Let me say that it's a two-part quote because Stacey Abrams got part one and Crystal, aka the Crystal Lens, I took it and I ran with it and added a part two. So Stacey Abrams said, our stories are valid no matter how imperfect they may seem. So our stories are valid no matter how imperfect they may seem. And I took it, ran with it, and extended it and said, indeed, right? Indeed, because like stained glass, the broken pieces create a picture and tell a story. So our stories are valid no matter how imperfect they may seem. Indeed, because like stained glass, the broken pieces create a picture and tell a story.
Wow.
What do y'all think about that?
I love it.
Yeah.
Especially the stained glass.
Right. It's giving Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
Okay, you feel me though, right? You feel me? It's giving creativity. It's giving, a way with words,
Right.
I'm visioning a whole bunch of colors and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. No matter how we look at ourselves, we always think we're broken because certain things aren't working out the way that it should be. But we never really look at the big picture. There's always a big picture, and we need to stop honing in on like one little like mistake or that one little setback. We all those setbacks always come together in some way, because you never know, full things come around in full circle and they just bloom into something beautiful. So like me, I was a film studies major and ended up in finance. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
What the hell? Right.
Right.
And now I hated that job, but came back down to working literally my dream job at the moment. So I was like in a rut. Those were my broken paths, but it brought me back to where I wanted to be. So it's a beautiful love story, I guess, of my career.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And when you focus on like the individual pieces, like you forget like how far you come, you forget like all that you've been through to get to this point, you know what I mean? Like when you just focus on that one little thing. So I definitely feel you with that. But yeah, that's the quote that I wanted to use to kind of, get us right on into our conversation for the day. And I just kind of wanted to start with like, how did the Crystal Lens begin? Like, let's start with maybe like how we all met. I think, Shav, I met you first, if I'm not mistaken.
16.
Shav was running around and
partying at college when she wasn't supposed to.
Right. But yeah, I think we met first. I think it was my freshman year of college. And
yes, it was.
Oh my God. Do you remember when we first met?
I think I met you at a party, actually. Or maybe it might have been my sister's dorm room going to a party, something of the sorts. And don't ask me what happened after.
I'm crying.
I'm like incriminating myself.
Right. We're not going to incriminate ourselves. No. I just remember like your sister being like, my sister like escaped off the island or something like that, like off of like Martha's Vineyard. I was like, what?
Like Columbus Day weekend or something. It was like me and my best friend. We convinced our parents to like let us go visit my sister in college, which was. The fact that my dad didn't realize when you have a college kid and you let the younger sibling go visit that college kid, that's a problem. That's a problem.
You don't get into some mischief.
Right. We had fun. And I think that's where, because I think you always said my sister spoke so highly of me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why? I thought my sister hated me, But every time I went to visit her, like someone always said something nice. And you were one of those people like, my sister's an artist, she does this, she does that. And I was like, oh, those nice things. So that's really like the premise of like how we met. And when I got to college, I had friends because I had already met you. So it was really cool. I didn't feel left out or anything. So it was just really awesome.
Yeah, and you got there, my junior year, I think?
Yep.
Oh my God, that's so wild. So wild. And then Bree, how the heck did we have class together?
We did. We had class together. So I knew your name was Crystal.
I'm crying.
I forget what the name of the class was, but I know that no one didn't hate the teacher. It wasn't the favorite. Like you were trying to avoid his class. And he's a nice guy. It's just his classes was like, oh.
Was this like a broadcast journalism class?
I thought it was like media law or something like that.
No. It was with, I want to say his name. I think it might have been like an audience like reflection class. I have no idea. I forget. But we had that class together. And I met Shav in my intro to communications class, I think the year before. I don't remember.
Right, something like that. And then we ended up working together
at the TV studio. And she was like, oh, Crystal's gonna be, filming a show. Do you want to help? And I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything on the weekends anyway. So yeah, sure. She was like, oh, it's just gonna be near my house. Mm-hmm. Let's go. I'm not doing nothing. And I went.
And how was that?
And it was definitely interesting because a random man, not random, we know him now, a random man picked me up and brought me to a barber shop near my home. And I was like, this is some strange stuff. But then I seen Shav and it was okay. And then I seen Crystal, I was like, okay, well, these are actual people I know. Do not get in the car with strange men, even if your friends like, oh no.
Life lessons from Bree.
Right. And that turned out to be fine. George. Yeah, everything was fine.
It's fine.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, that whole like full first production meetup was pretty cool though, because
Yeah.
like that was our first web series together.
Yeah.
And the whole ride of that was like pretty amazing, So
Mhm.
From
I
the
think
makeup to like setting up scenes, trying to get people to coordinate, people
Shooting
just
late at night.
outside. Oh, the late at nights.
Oh my gosh. I just remember it was so late. Like it was like the wee hours of the morning and we're still filming. Like
And
we're
then
filming
and this was
web
spring break. This was
it
spring
was
break. Let's
spring
not
break.
forget.
And
This
she was
was
staying
spring
with
break because
you.
I was staying with you, Crystal.
Yes, you
I don't
were. Oh my
know.
gosh.
And I spent the night, I think that same night at your house because we had to film
Right.
Early.
early in the morning. And we were late anyway.
Right. Oh my God. But it turned out pretty good. You know what I mean? Like George is doing his thing and everything like that.
Yep.
But oh my
Yes,
God.
actually, I don't know if I told you guys, he got his film in the Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival.
Oh.
So I'll be seeing George this summer, so August. And
so
every year
I'm
I
gonna
work
book a
for
trip
the film
and
festival.
go.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited. Like I feel like George got to come on here too. I'm definitely gonna have George on. But George literally, like, he's like the biggest like turnaround story ever. You know what I mean? Like everything that he's been through to like having like his script like filmed and everything like that with like some big name, actors and actresses, like crazy.
Yeah. And when he told us about him, we were like, what? He did
like,
what?
Trust me.
Where?
Oh my gosh.
But he really is one of our biggest supporters too.
Yes,
because like he
really
doesn't fail to check in on us. He doesn't
Yep.
fail to, always encourage us. He calls me telling me sometimes he still thinks about the scripts I told him about. And he'll help me like expand on it. And I feel bad because I haven't like written anything. But he's like, Shav, like, girl, you really got a good script. Why did you do nothing?
He's so encouraging. So
Definitely.
even with Bree, he'd be like, I called Bree, she didn't answer.
He did not call me. Do not lie on my name. Do not lie on my name. You did not call me. Although when he does call, I do answer the phone. But
there you go. There's a couple of times you didn't answer though. He called me.
I may have been mad at him.
Me and tell me.
I may have been mad at him. He was doing a lot, and I was like, I need you to relax. I just need you to relax.
He just want to check in. That's the thing. His heart's in a good place. Like,
and you know what?
George.
Thank you, George, because
sometimes that's all you
it's
need.
Just me. Yeah, definitely. You need someone outside of you to be checking on you, and as long as it's not in the house and you can just vent, that's all you need.
Right.
Oh Lord. All right. So I want to take a minute to talk about the Dear Little Project. That is my baby. If y'all haven't seen it, check out thecrystallens.com /Dear Little Project, or it's actually like on the homepage of my website as well. But that project was all about empowering the little Black boys and girls in our lives and the ones that live inside of us. So like our inner child. And I think we had over 150 people come and film with us. I think between the men, the women, and the children, it was definitely like over 150 people who came out and filmed. And we did it over the course of, I want to say like 5 or 6 weeks. Like it was pretty quick. And we were just like filming on the weekends, basically like all day Saturday, all day Sunday, back to back. And let's rewind a little bit too, because shout out to Tia Hines, because she found the poet Derek Patton, who allowed us to use his words to create the Dear Little Project. And when you see it, you'll see, you know what I mean, like it's adults, reading the poems, and you see all of these like beautiful, spunky, like amazing little Black boys and girls. But behind the scenes, making it all happen. Okay, left and right hands again. Hey, what's up? But yeah, tell me, like, talk to us about like that whole experience. That was, first of all, that was amazing. Like just to create a project where not only were we creating, you know, this final video and photography project, but also the fact that we were giving folks the experience of filming in a TV studio, a real TV studio, giving kids that experience of being like in front of the lights, in front of the cameras. Like some of them were like a little shy, you know, of course,
Right.
but to still give them that experience, which is like so unique and so nuanced. It's like where else would you have gotten that opportunity, you know? So tell me a little bit about that. What was it like working together? I mean, for me, I'll say like I enjoyed the hell out of y'all because y'all definitely like y'all just know where to fit in and like get things done and like think ahead of like, okay, what needs to get done? Like even like, Crystal, did you eat? Like take
Right.
Yes.
like,
Did you check your text messages?
God,
Right.
All of that. I'm like, girl, there's so many text messages. Please respond.
yeah, y'all definitely kept me together. But tell me about like what was it like working together? Like, you know, that was my first like time actually like directing something for real, for real. But talk to me about that experience.
I guess I'll go. So first of all, shout out to public access, you know, the Somerville, the SCAT TV, I should say.
Yep, Somerville Community Access TV.
Exactly. And given that I work in public access, you know, I get it. I get it. But my takeaway from this whole thing was the fact that so many adults came out to give these affirmations and speak on these affirmations to these beautiful young little boys and girls, Black boys and girls, Black and brown little boys and girls.
Yes.
And it was so heartwarming to see and hear and to see the little kids like looking up at these adults who are speaking literally life into them. And the production aspect of it was pretty cool too, because that was really like, even though me and Bree and you too, Crystal, worked for Studio 73, like we knew what a production was in terms of news setting, but in terms of creativity, that was a different ballgame. Like it was just like, okay, like we're doing this. Like who's the script supervisor? Who's the cameraman? Who's the director? And the storyboard artist? Who's doing that? So it was just like the ability for us to learn how to plan an entire production and get it done in such a short period of time and premiere it was actually really pretty cool. Yes, there were sleepless nights, but it was very rewarding at the end of the day. So
yeah, absolutely. I'll say it was so rewarding. And even to like, I think that's such a good point you brought up, right? Like we literally created this project, executed it, premiered it, had sponsors. We had like the media come out and do like like articles and like video pieces on it and stuff like that. Like that was so freaking amazing. And like we did it in such a short period of time that I'm like, yo, if we did that in like no time, like what could we do if we actually had time and like budgets and stuff like that? But yeah, I definitely feel like I learned so much like about myself. I learned so much about like working in teams and, really not just doing everything by myself. I think I, for the longest time, was like so used to doing everything solo dolo, and to actually have a team of people who like genuinely care and, their heart is in the same place as your heart in terms of like executing the project and getting it done. And, on a moral level, right? Like believing in what we're doing, right? Because I think what I learned over the past like few years since working like HBO and like Warner Brothers and stuff like that, right? A lot of people, they do their craft, right? But they're just doing it because it's a job, right? Not because they truly believe it. Exactly, passion, exactly. And the fact that you guys are also passionate about the affirmations and, you believed in the mission of what we were doing, like that, I think took it like a step further for me and was like, okay, nah, this is like, we're doing something really amazing. And to be honest, I think one of the episodes I want to do moving forward is actually probably going to be one of like the affirmations and just kind of having a bunch of the affirmations from that project so folks can really experience it, because we have it on video, you know what I mean?
So still on your website, right?
Still on my website, thecrystallens.com/your little project. Okay.
Go ahead and promote it.
Right.
Listen, it's still up there. Go check it out. You can see all those beautiful Black and brown faces of the kids. You can see the adults. You can see the promotion we got in the media and all that good stuff. Like we did that. Like pat on the back to us because we did that. Okay, we did that. But yeah, what are there any other lessons that you guys like learned from doing that project specifically, or like working with one another?
I would say that I do really love the behind the scenes work, like the switching of the cameras and being able, like I saw in headphones and like, okay, can you turn it certain way and stuff like that. But I also love like talking to the kids, especially when they like were shy and we got to put on music for them and then seeing them like come out of their shell and start dancing. That was like my favorite part. Like, yes, it was like really cool to have their parents come in, but like the point of it was to get the little brown and Black kids to like love themselves. So I love the dancing and everything out like that. And then like Tia, she had her family come in and speak, and everyone was having kids come in from all over, like a variety of different neighborhoods coming in and like, oh, we don't get this at home, or we don't do this at home, or I've never been on TV, that kind of stuff. I definitely learned like a team, like the two of you, that kind of stuff. I really enjoy that. And like Crystal said, I do a lot of stuff by myself, but it was way more fun, like, hey, maybe look into this, or I have a suggestion to work on this. What do you think? That kind of stuff. And like talking off of people is like the best kind of way to be more creative, because you like get different insights on how to be your best self, especially in a creative setting, which like I learned from YouTube. Like there's multiple ways to be creative. There's like the usual creative way, like Shav, and like art and drawing, and then film. And Crystal, you have your podcast and your TV shows and everything, all the behind the scenes and working on HBO, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, that's what I love. So like seeing you guys doing that, it's like, okay, so you can just do that in a slightly different way, because I'm more analytical, so I can still work in that field, but I gotta be in that area because I love it so much. It was so like my weekends were the best. Like it was like kind of out of the way, but once you got there, you're like, okay, I'm not going home, and I'm okay with that. And I'm gonna keep going, and we're gonna be back tomorrow, and we're gonna be back next Saturday, and that's okay.
We it's like I learned so much too, because like we're so alike. We're so alike that I consider us one person. Personality and everything and creativity, one person. But it was nice because I didn't feel like we weren't being heard by each other. We all literally loved each other's ideas and was able to like expand on whatever crazy idea you may have. You got me in. Like that's how it was. And the spontaneity of it all was just gratifying to me. So Bree basically touched on everything, and more, and I just want to like thank you, Crystal, because of course I had my school projects and work, because I was working like nothing, but this was fun. This was just like almost like it was my project. So your projects made it feel like it was my project. So no matter what you said, I was like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Just pick me up, to the point where Crystal, this is how much I love Crystal and Bree. Okay, let me just tell the whole world. Bree and Crystal were my Beyonces, okay? If y'all remember my Beyonce video.
You gotta tell them.
Project.
Yes, tell them.
So you see, like, we help, Crystal helps us. So
yes.
Vice versa. So it's great. And I had a wonderful time with you guys. Anytime you want to start again.
Hell yeah.
I'm ready.
Oh, definitely. If you got another project,
I'm ready.
You need us to fly down.
I got all the experience in the world now.
Listen,
we get Paramount in there.
We getting creative, okay? We could work virtually. We might have to fly y'all down something. We'll make it happen. But it's so funny you talk about the collaborative aspect of it too, Brie, because I was even thinking like with this podcast, and everything like that. I'm like, I need like my input from my left and my right hand, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I was like, is this too much content? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what should I do? This and that. And because I genuinely value your input, and, you know, where it comes from. It always comes from like a loving place. It comes from a good place. It comes from an educated place, because y'all know what the fuck you're doing. Like, y'all know what you're doing, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely like, you know, we're definitely gonna work together again. Don't worry. Like, whether it's this little project here or something.
I might be worth a whole lot more money now, but
well, excuse me. Let me see if I can even afford you. Okay?
Throw some dollars in there.
Let me see if I can afford you.
Let me see that. Let me open that wallet, Crystal. Come on.
Right. Hold on. Let me see. I might got 2 quarters I can rub together. But no, I love it. I absolutely love it. And, you know, like, y'all are literally like my sisters, for real, for real. I absolutely like appreciate y'all, and just like your dedication and your work ethic. I think that's something that you can't really teach, right? Like the work ethic. And y'all two remind me of why I started the Crystal Lens, which was, so rewind back to when we were in undergrad, right? I didn't actually touch my first camera until my senior year. And so by the time I graduated, I didn't really have like a reel, like no one really taught me how to like make a reel. I guess I could have like done my own research and stuff like that, but it wasn't part of my studies, you know what I mean? And I don't think I had as much experience as a lot of these like entry-level jobs were looking for. So with that being said, I created the Crystal Lens because I wanted to give young Black and Brown people, especially like women, and, you know, other marginalized groups, but just give them hands-on production experience, so that they can say, hey, I worked on a production. Let me tell you what I did, right? And maybe it wasn't for HBO, but we executed this project. We did it from beginning to end. Here's the role that I played in it. You know what I mean? And let me show you, here's where I shine, right? And like you were saying, Shav, going back to community media, utilizing community media to create these projects, you know. And I feel like, you know, Shav and Bre, y'all two were the first like manifestations of the purpose of the Crystal Lens productions, right? And just giving that hands-on experience, being able to have someone, you know, pull up a website and say, boop, I'm in the credits right there. You feel me? My face, my name, like that's me. Can you like talk to me a little bit about that though? Cause I definitely like, I feel like y'all just manifested that for me. Like, I know.
I don't know. I feel like ooh, there's so much to say. Like, how do I pinpoint?
I know there's so much.
To be able to build on your idea, I feel like we just had the same values, so it was just easy to just follow behind you, basically. Walk with you in this journey of creating and telling stories that may have impact on someone that didn't think they needed it, but hey, you got it. Whether you wanted it or not, we gave you something that was impactful. And the Crystal Lens, I think it's something that could be great. That is already great, I should say. And I'm happy to see that you're starting again. That for me is rewarding because I do miss it. I talk about it all the time. You know, I'm like, I may have not done too many of my own projects, but sure, the Crystal Lens projects were really fun and cool. They're long-lasting memories for me. There was nothing really challenging because no matter what project you were on, you always called us. Like, if you want Crystal, there's Crystal and Shav and Bre and Shav, you know? So
I made sure I included y'all. Like, if there's a budget, like y'all need to budget for 2 more. I need +2, not +1.
Right.
+2, okay?
Yes.
You know, and it says a lot about you too, because like, even when we worked on the 48-hour film festival, that was someone else's project, and you brought us along with you, and you know, and that shows like we were able to work well with a different team, because we were used to working with just the 3 of us, you know. So the fact that we blended with another team shows that we're adaptable and we're capable. And even though my asthma was killing me in that basement,
yo, when I tell you, we were in the trenches together, okay, in the basement. Like, I don't know, there's probably mold down there and critters.
You know, and you allowed me to like to be able to show what I was capable of too. Like, my first time being the storyboard artist of of a short, a short film, which was really cool. Coming off working with Tony Shalhoub as his, storyboard and script supervisor here in the Vineyard for their show, which was, whatever I had, I brought it with me and I made sure it worked,
Yeah.
So shout out to the Crystal Lens for believing in me.
I love it. No, absolutely. I believed in you like from jump. And like, I love this was just like perfect divine alignment of like three individuals who had similar interests, who had similar work ethic, who, you know what I mean? Like where I lacked, y'all picked up for, where y'all lacked, like, we picked up for each other. You know what I mean? Like we all just like fit like puzzle pieces. And
even my mama said that. And my mama loved the two of y'all.
Right. My mom
versa.
loves y'all so much. She's like,
My
how's
mama
Crystal?
agrees.
Did she move? Is she still down there? Yo, she's still in Florida. When you gonna go see us?
I'm all over the
Give
place.
me a moment, please. But no, you definitely hit the nail on the head. Like, there are definitely times I was like, I don't feel as creative, but like working on those projects, it was like, okay, so I am kind of creative. And it felt like work. It was like, I'm helping my friend out.
Yeah.
And it just benefits, like, this is my alley into creativeness because I don't have the stories all the time. They come to mind, but they don't write them down. But helping you and seeing what that comes in, how that goes out, and all of the work that goes into it, getting funding, your Miss America stuff, helping out with that, and I don't know how to do any of
Miss
that.
USA, baby, Miss
Oh
USA.
Miss USA, even that, the emails, sending it out to different people, all that stuff. The wedding that we helped take pictures.
Oh my goodness.
That wedding was a mess.
There was another little event that we did where we took pictures and there were teenage girls there and we were taking pictures of them. I forget.
Yoga studio.
The Beautiful Me conference.
Yes,
Beautiful
that
Me conference.
I
That
love
was
that.
awesome. That was so awesome.
I forgot about that.
See?
And the pictures we have to show all these, these projects are ridiculous.
Yeah, we do. They're actually, the Beautiful Me conference is on my website too, under the videography, thecrystallens.com /videography. Okay. The video that I edited and put together is up there, so y'all can definitely, like, if you're watching this, you can definitely see that as well. Visit thecrystallens.com. That's where everything lives.
I remember that early morning. I didn't forget that early morning. You had us up, girl. We were like, what time?
Yo, I appreciate y'all, like, for real, because I'm not a morning person, and like we would be
up. None of us are morning people, but we still do it because Crystal asked.
When you said 9 o'clock for this, we were like, girl.
We barely made it.
We can't push it. It's Sunday. I gotta get up next day. Come on now.
Right. We said 9 o'clock. We started 9:30. It's cool.
It's fine.
We made it though.
We got it.
I love it. I do want to like ask y'all, like, were there any challenges with like working together that you could think of?
No,
absolutely not.
Yeah, no. We work really well together.
I think that we are one person.
Exactly.
You literally
one
think
person.
the same.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the cancer in us. Who knows?
It might be.
I would say the only challenge for me, it wasn't even like working with y'all. It was more like a me thing, was just like, I kept trying to do everything like on my own, and I was like, y'all would just get me together.
Crystal.
Literally, y'all would get me together, get me all the way together. Even with the Dear Little project, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna edit it myself. I needed 5 editors, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. 5 editors for that project, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna edit it in like a week and it'll be fine, I'll do it myself. Like,
we're like,
yeah. So I think that was like my only challenge, but that was like more like with myself, of like trying to continuously do everything on my own, because I was just kind of like programmed that way, you know what I mean? Like, but realizing like you got to really lean on other people and trust that they're going to be able to execute like your vision in a way that, makes sense, and every single time we worked together, like it was just like beautiful, whether it was like getting, emails sent out or uploading, footage onto like the drive and stuff like that. Like y'all just like got everything done and made it so easy for me, I think, was like, that was probably like the best part of it, was just like, y'all made production so easeful. Like, I didn't have to overthink certain things because I knew Shav and Bre got it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even have to think twice. Like, you know, Bre's switching cameras, cool. I know that's gonna get executed and done like to the best of her ability. Like, same thing with Shav on camera, or Shav's, you know, greeting people coming in, like, great. I know that's gonna get done. So I think for me, that was like the best part, was just like, y'all just made everything so incredibly seamless and like easeful.
I don't want to brag, but you know, that's what you get when you have good production assistants, you know. You know, have the production assistant spilling coffee in the back on the sound equipment, you know.
Okay.
So, you know, I think we work really well together. We blend really well, and I'm very happy for that. And it's funny because my job now, I have that. I really and truly have that. It's 4 people working in the TV station, but 2 of us, 2 peas in the pod. You know, we bouncing off each other. If one don't know something, we gonna make sure the other knows to teach that person. You know, it's just how it works. I feel like I carry those values that I learned, you know, working with you guys over into my own job that I have now. So
I love that.
Yeah, and that was my first mentor, and she's awesome. So she's like, you left here a peanut and you came back a whole walnut. I was like, yeah.
Not a walnut. I love that.
You know, she's like, you're so wholesome now. Like, you're just, you know what you do. And the fact that, like, when they hired me, it was on Juneteenth. Okay, when Juneteenth, they're like, you want to come work for us? I was like, hell yeah. Did you have to ask? And they trusted me to, you know, that no matter what, they trusted me to do whatever for the company, and it's going to work out. So I don't know micromanaging, and you weren't even like that. You didn't micromanage us, nothing. You just trusted us. And
if I didn't trust you, I wouldn't have asked you to come on the project. Like, that's one thing with me, and this is like how I've always moved, is like, I trust my intuition. I trust the energy, if that makes sense. Like, even with, like, quick side story, with my first apartment, like, I went there. I went there to meet it was a 3-bedroom. So I went there to meet the other 2 roommates, and I went there, and like, we just got along so well. We were like chit-chatting and this and that. And, you know, after I left, I like called my dad, and he's asking me all these like logistical questions, like, you know, like, how much is the heat? Is it gas or electric? I'm like, I don't know, but I got good vibes and energy from them. Like, so I say all that to say, like, and it ended up being literally like the best apartment ever. Like, I lived there for years. But I trust the energy, and I trust, you know, my intuition. And literally anytime I've gotten like a pit in my stomach about like someone or whatever, and I ignored it, I always regretted it. And I've never had that pit in my stomach with y'all. Like, I've never been like, you know what I mean? Like, worried about even like inviting y'all on here. You know, sometimes you invite people, like, they gonna act up, like they gonna I don't gotta worry about that with Shav and Bre. Like, it's just like y'all just we all just gel. Like you said, we're 3 peas in a pod. Like, our birthdays are right after each other. We graduated, you know, 1 year, 2 years after each other. So it just like it just worked. It just worked.
And yeah, like, just about us. The fact that we're Cancers. We graduated. So what? Crystal, Bre, me, and then it's Crystal's birthday. Bre's mine.
Yep. Cancer season, baby, and it's coming up too. Listen,
it is coming up strong.
Okay, listen. I appreciate y'all. I definitely appreciate y'all. What's been the biggest reward with working on the Crystal Lens Productions and whatnot?
Being able to tell people about the experience that we've had. Like, I still show your videos. Like, my job, they're like, we want to know what you did in college. I'm like, it might not be my work, but here's a list of things that I worked on, you know. And so that's like the biggest honor, I guess, to work with you and being able to have something to show. And that's and I can show my kids whenever they pop out. But, you know,
I'm trying to be an auntie. Yeah, I'm gonna be a rich fly auntie.
But yeah, it's our success story, I call it. So
Yeah.
it's been great.
I would say it's the memories,
Mm.
especially because in college, like the first, like I went somewhere else for my first year. I didn't go to Suffolk my first year, and then the first, like my sophomore and junior year, I like knew my coworkers, but they weren't my friends. I talked to them. I went home. My senior year, talking to you guys and hanging out with Westa, it was like life changing. It was like in a school where you're the only Black person, you're the darkest person in the classroom. It kind of just like, I just want to go home. And luckily, I didn't have to stay on campus, so I was like, I need to be around Black people like immediately. Where is the bus? And you had to walk outside the classroom to see other Black people, but like still, I loved it. And I love y'all so much. Like I'm so glad that we got to do
it.
it.
Don't do it.
I know. Let's cry.
But no, like for real, it's the like memories, because especially like talking about it and like remembering all the stuff that we worked on and stuff like that. Like, although it has nothing to do with what I currently do in analytics, it's still like something to think back on. Like I did that, we did that, we have all these things that we did together.
Yeah.
And so many other times that we just talked. And every time we talk, from Shav traveling back home and Crystal saying some man's voice with Keith, all that kind of stuff. I love all that kind of stuff. So I enjoy
Made my college experience awesome, I have to say.
Definitely.
Yeah.
From the beginning to the end.
Right.
So
especially from the beginning to the end. And then having, seeing each other for our birthdays and stuff like that. It's like,
shout out to Crystal for throwing me a Black Panther birthday party.
I know. Oh my gosh. I forget half of this stuff. So y'all are just like jogging my memory. I forgot about that. You did, and I got you
just showed up with the decorations and the little kitty Black Panther cups. My mom was
going to see Black Panther together.
Yes,
like more than once.
Yes. We were all dressed up and Bree was taking the picture. I remember Bree was like on the floor, like getting the right angle of like
gotta get the angles.
Doing the Wakanda forever.
All of that. That's the whole Crystal Lens experience is pretty much all of our memories together.
And it's not just media. It's not.
It's everything that includes being a Black woman, friendship, or identifying person of color, and connecting on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be every day, but just connecting and seeing how each other of us are doing and stuff like that. You can't buy that.
Nope.
You guys are like the best.
You just answered my last. I was literally gonna ask y'all, like, what is to you like the Crystal Lens experience? So you just answered it, Bree. What is it for you, Shav? What's the Crystal Lens experience?
Bree, all that. For me, it was a wholesome, happy experience that will never fade at all. Like I still laugh at the things that we've done and the things we said. The fact that I call you guys my home skillet. That's our group chat name.
Yes.
It's just you can't buy friendship, and this is priceless.
Yeah.
So thank you, ladies, for being the greatest friends. Because I used to have two friend groups. Now you the friend group. Okay. The friend group.
Same.
Capitalized. So thank you for just everything, all the laughs, the tears, the car rides,
the car ride
in Momo.
In my Momo, my Mazda 3.
So yeah, it's been great. It's been great. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait for y'all to come and ride in my new vehicle.
I still even thinking about you teaching me how to do my taxes. You taught me how to do my taxes.
Did I really?
Yeah.
I'm weak. I don't remember that.
Come
it was
on.
At your apartment. You introduced me to TurboTax.
Yeah.
And just believe a girl knows how to do her taxes.
Amen. Listen, if TurboTax is watching, feel free to slide your girl a little, little discount link, I mean, a little partnership or something. I'm out here teaching the children them, how to do the taxes.
Not
Yeah,
tax,
because
but
we look up to each other.
You're
And
right.
it's so great, So we take everything you say at face value and just run with it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially like the stuff like I know you had all of these like documents on how to use Excel and stuff well, not Excel, but like Google Sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you taught me, I use
even the job opportunities you send us. I was looking up your email earlier. I was like, 2019, Crystal is still sending me jobs.
Listen.
You really looked out for us.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because I think for me, it's always been about community, and I always valued, like it's like if y'all are winning, I'm winning. If I'm winning, y'all winning. You feel me? And I think that's just how I've moved, and that's like the essence and the spirit of the Crystal Lens, whether it's the Crystal Lens experience or the Crystal Lens productions, right? But just the Crystal Lens in general, like that's the essence of it, is like we can't all win, you know what I mean? If one person is losing, we got to make sure, you know what I mean? If Bree's unemployed, I'm sending Bree jobs. If Shav needs a reference, I'm a reference for Shav, right? Because when one of us wins, we all win. And, with that kind of energy, we can't lose, So absolutely, absolutely love that. Love that. I do want to ask y'all, so I want to slide right into a little section I call like the challenge / like the action plan. And based off of our experience today, I would like to challenge, this is my challenge for y'all, and then you guys can let me know what your challenge is. But I would like to challenge you to show yourself some gratitude by saying thank you to your journey, saying thank you to your struggle, saying thank you to your triumph, right? And all that you've overcome to make it here today. So my question for you is, how will you honor your story today? And how will you share your experience today? So just kind of thinking of like, what does it look like to revisit maybe like the tough parts of your journey, and how will you honor your story and your experience moving forward today? I know I got deep on y'all real quick.
I think for me, especially with such a long period of time, like after college, not having a job, my biggest thing was money insecurity, just a lifelong, like trying to understand how to save, how to do for myself and not depend on someone else, because I've seen other people struggle. My greatest thing is being able to buy something for my mother and not have that money come from like, oh, this is money I've saved up from something else, like having the income coming in and get her something that she wants and has needed. For me, that's giving gifts is like my favorite thing. Like I can't wait. Like I buy it and I'm like, great. Do I really have to wait till this day to give it to you? It's here. It's like right here. I can just give it to you. But no, it's definitely giving back and spending time, that kind of stuff. And especially if I'm caught up with trying to find work and then now I don't have to do that. These calls, that kind of stuff is everything. And being able to do that today is great too. So yeah, I don't know if that really answers the question.
No, it definitely did. I mean, like that's honoring yourself, that's honoring your story, that's also honoring where you've come from, because you understand that, hey, like I haven't always had it financially. So now that I am in a different financial place, like I'm honoring my struggle by like giving gifts, and you know what I mean? Like I love that. I absolutely love that. What about you, Shav?
I am honoring myself by laughing more, being happy. And, I don't think you guys might have known, but like I was diagnosed with depression when I was 17. And that was mainly because of how I got into foster care and so forth. So like I've been honoring myself by pushing myself to acknowledge the bad situation. So like now I'm reaching out to my dad more, I'm reaching out to my sister more, I'm the broken relationships that I've had in my family, I'm slowly trying to weave back together while still protecting myself. And also, I have the same thing, money insecurity. and I worked really hard to make sure that I don't actually have to do that anymore. So like working on making sure that things that I found that were broken inside myself are being sewn back together, not necessarily glued back, but so that's mainly what I'm doing. So I've been challenging myself for the past year, and it's very rewarding. I cry less. I smile more. I'm having breakdance moments throughout the day just to cheer myself up, type of thing. So I didn't realize that's what I was doing until someone said, "You're happier. You're back to being yourself." And to me, that was like, really, like, that feels good. So so like my experience and struggles don't seem like struggles anymore. They're just slowly fading away, and I'm happy about that. So yeah.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Especially like, thank you for like tapping into like mental health as well, because that's like a huge, like that's that's my heart, and I've had my own struggles with like anxiety and depression, like PTSD and stuff like that, which we'll get into on later episodes. But yeah, I definitely think like just looking back at like, again, how far we've come, right? That like, today we can smile, right? When there used to be days and days and days where we would go without smiling and being happy and stuff like that. So I definitely honor that. I think that's amazing. I'm happy that you're happy.
Definitely.
And I think you've also, and this is the other thing with the Crystal Lens experience and what I'm doing with this show, podcast, project, whatever I want to call it, right? But taking parts of everyone's story to kind of create an ecosystem and a web of like more connections. So Shav, you just talked about the foster care system. I have a homie who, she, was adopted from another country, and you know what I mean? And so it's like, I can bring y'all two together to have that conversation. Bree, you talking about like financial insecurities, and like, that's an episode I want to do with my dad. Boom, bringing y'all two together. Now there's a new connection with new people, right? So I want to continue creating that. And y'all just like of course y'all reminded me of that, because y'all just like, y'all spark inspiration in me. Like, I love it. I freaking love it. Thank you. I just want to say thank you a million times for coming and being on the beginning of this new project that we're embarking on. I'm sure y'all figure out a way to be working behind the scenes. So y'all are seeing the faces now. Most likely they're gonna be behind the scenes doing something, because we can't like, not work together for so long.
Right.
But I just wanted to say thank you, Shav. Thank you, Bree. Is there anything else that you want to add before we wrap things up?
Love you.
Love you.
I love you. And I would like to just say thank you for sharing this experience with us. Everyone who's watching, thank you so much. I challenge you to go on and be great. I challenge you to step into your greatness today, tomorrow, and throughout the rest of your week and your month and your days, right? I just want to say I love you. I love you, Shav. I love you, Brie. I love everyone who's listening and watching. I love you. I'm proud of you, and you got this. I'm sending you an abundance of love and light. And wherever you reside, protection over you as you move about this planet, this world, wherever you're at. Just, I hope that you are protected. So until next time, Ashe, amen, hey, baby, okay?
Ashe.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.